I want to talk about something that sounds small at first, but actually says a lot about where modern automakers are heading. This is a story about screws, literally nuts and bolts, and it's fascinating, judging by how many people have sent this to me. The reporting comes from the Autotopian, written by Brian Silvestro, and it focuses on a newly published patent from BMW that reveals a very deliberate design choice. New cars are already difficult to work on. There's less space under the hood, more wiring, more sensors, more software, and far more systems that can trigger warnings or faults if you touch the wrong thing. But beyond that, some manufacturers intentionally make things harder by using unusual fasteners. Instead of a standard hex bolt, you get Torx. Instead of Torx, you get triple square. And suddenly a basic repair turns into a trip to the tool store just to buy one obscure bit you'll use exactly once. BMW historically hasn't been the worst offender here. Most of their fasteners are fairly conventional, and that's why this patent is so interesting. A patent published through Europe's Intellectual Property Office shows BMW has designed an entirely new screw head. And it's not subtle. The screw head literally incorporates the BMW roundel logo. A circular head divided into 4 quadrants, exactly like the BMW badge. 2 quadrants recessed, 2 raised. They even embossed the letters BMW around the outer edge of the screw head. BMW could have made this work using an existing design. The logo naturally lends itself to a Phillips-style cross. But of course they didn't. Instead, they created an entirely new fastener geometry that requires a proprietary tool shaped specifically to match those logo quadrants. A flathead won't work, a Phillips won't work, Torx won't work. You need a tool that only exists because BMW decided it should, and buried inside the patent is the real reason this exists. Patents don't just show drawings. They require the applicant to explain what the invention does and why it's useful. In this case, the patent explicitly says that existing screw designs have a disadvantage, and that disadvantage is this: they can be loosened or tightened too easily by people. That's not interpretation, that is the language. The patent goes on to explain that there are applications where only a restricted group of people should be able to manipulate a screw connection. In plain English, BMW is saying the problem with traditional fasteners is that anyone can work on them, and the advantage of this design is that most people can't. Now here's where this really starts to matter for everyday owners. When you restrict who can perform a repair, you don't just limit DIY work. You eliminate independent shops. You force repairs into dealership service departments. That immediately increases labor rates, it increases diagnostic time, it increases parts markup, and it increases total claim severity when something goes wrong. A repair that could have been a simple removal and replacement suddenly becomes a specialized procedure requiring proprietary tools and authorized labor. And that doesn't just affect the person paying out of pocket. Insurance companies see this too. Higher repair costs mean higher claim payouts. Higher claim payouts mean higher loss ratios, and higher loss ratios eventually show up as higher premiums. When vehicles are engineered so that fewer people can fix them, even minor damage becomes more expensive to resolve. What used to be a simple mechanical fix becomes a controlled, branded, and monetized service event. Over time, insurers adjust for that risk. That means higher comprehensive and collision premiums. That means more total loss declarations on vehicles that technically could have been repaired. And that means owners paying more year over year just to insure the car. So this isn't just about inconvenience. It's about cost. It's about repair economics. And it's about claims data. And it's about how design decisions quietly ripple through the insurance system. Now, to be fair, not every patent makes it into production. Automakers patent plenty of ideas that never leave the drawing stage. But the fact that this was designed, filed, and justified this way matters, because it fits a broader trend. Cars are increasingly treated as closed systems, software locked, digitally paired components, parts that won't function unless coded by the manufacturer. This screw patent is simply the physical version of that mindset. It turns a basic mechanical connection into a permission-based system. And if this ever shows up on real vehicles, it won't make cars better. It won't make them safer. It won't make them more reliable. It will just make them more expensive to own, more expensive to repair, and more expensive to insure. And BMW, in their own words, didn't even try to hide it.